What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. It's a great day to talk about silver and maybe even a little bit of gold. In today's video, I want to talk about why I personally keep my silver a secret, with the exception of maybe 2 family members and anonymously putting out videos on the internet. Nobody else knows. And I'm going to tell you exactly why that is. And it's something that you might want to consider as well. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos. Subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos. Follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS on Twitter and Instagram. And 3 quick things before we dive into the video. Number 1, if you haven't already, try you out some Celsius Energy. It's a healthier version of the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack so you can try out the different flavors right there on Amazon. I will leave an affiliate link in the description. 2, if you haven't already gotten started investing and you would like to, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. That link will also be in the description. They make it really easy for a new investor to start investing. You're going to get some free stocks just for doing it. It's really easy to navigate on the app. Link down below. 3rd and finally, if you need any stacking supplies, anti-tarnish paper, airtight tubes and capsules, microscopes, the list goes on. Those supplies will also be linked in the description for your convenience. Alright, so let's get into the video. And as you can tell by the video, I have the camera angled a little bit differently right now. I have it facing the table with a bunch of coins, rounds, and bars on display. I don't know how many of you saw, but on my channel a couple days ago, I posted a poll for you guys to participate in, asking if you prefer videos with thumbnails like this, or for the videos to be filmed like this, or for it to be filmed kind of like this. Most of you prefer this way. Not gonna lie, I prefer this way too. So from here on out, at least for the most part, my videos, I'm gonna have them filmed like this, the way that I used to have them filmed. And it's a lot easier for me, and now I can fire my makeup artist. Alright, so let's dive into the video. I want to talk about why you might want to consider keeping your silver a secret. If it's something that you just recently stepped into, maybe you just started stacking the precious metals, maybe you just got your first handful of silver coins, rounds, bars, maybe a little bit of gold, whatever. Maybe you're new, maybe you've been involved for quite a bit of time, 5, 6, 7 years, like me, maybe 10, 15, 20 years, like other people. And maybe you're considering telling somebody. Maybe you're considering really just to, throw some bait out there, see if anybody bites. You never know what other people are interested in. And let's face it, at the end of the day, we all go to work. We all spend 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours a day, oftentimes that entire amount of time with the same people every single day. We see our coworkers more than we see our families. We spend more time at work than we do in our homes. So our coworkers, naturally, are people that we're going to talk to. It's people that we talk to about news, sports, family, things that are non-work related. We're going to be talking to them. Camping, fishing, hiking, our hobbies, cars, painting, gardening, whatever your hobby may be. Guess what? You're probably talking to your coworkers about it. And guess what? You want to know what one of my hobbies are? A hobby of mine that I discovered back in probably the 4th quarter of 2017? Silver! Which, by the way, what do we have on display right here? We have a nice little selection. Up at the top, right up there, a bunch of silver rounds, generic silver rounds. We have the Kraken, the Werewolf, some Queen's Beasts, the Yale Greyhound, a 3-ounce Monarch bar, a 10-ounce silver Bull bar, Aztec calendar round, that's 5 ounce right there, American flag bar, some 90% junk constitutional silver, Type 1 Eagle, Type 2 Eagle, Maple, and Kangaroo. Nice little selection. A little bit of everything. And some fractional gold. So stacking silver is a hobby that I discovered probably 2015 or 2016, but I actually started stacking at the end of 2017. And it very quickly turned into something that I was very, very passionate about at the time, and I was super involved. I spent the entire year of 2018 stacking as aggressively as I could, every chance I got, every single month, sometimes twice a month, sometimes 3, 4, 5 times a month. I was at the local coin shop where I was ordering some silver online and just letting that stack do its thing. Just grow and grow and grow. Sky high is what I was aiming for. Now, obviously, when there's something that you're excited about, if there's something that you're interested in, you're going to want to talk about it. And guess what? You're probably going to want to talk about it to people who don't even want to hear about it. Take it from me. Some of the coworkers that I have, and some of the nonsense that they just relentlessly talk about over and over. It's just the two of us in the same room, and he's going on and on and on and on and on about something that I told him, dude, I don't care. I don't care. I get it. I understand. So point being is that just because you're interested in silver and gold doesn't mean that other people are interested in silver and gold. Same goes for camping, hiking, painting, woodwork, whatever. But it's something that you're going to be very tempted to talk about with your coworkers. I personally would advise against that. I personally would recommend maybe not doing that because, number one, you never really know people's intentions or capabilities, and, especially a coworker, they know when you're not home. And being that they're a coworker, they probably also know where you live. So, kind of a little bit of a gamble, if you ask me. So I personally wouldn't tell the coworkers. You could tell your coworkers whatever else you want to say. You could tell your coworkers about your other interests, but silver's a little bit different. And the reason I say it's different is because silver and gold, that's part of your financial business. See, I don't go around work telling people how much I have in the 401k. I don't tell people how much I have in my Roth IRA or my HSA or either of my 2 taxable accounts. I don't tell them about my net worth or what I invest in. I come up from time to time, but I don't get into specifics. Anybody who's watched my channel for the last 5, 6, 7 years knows I don't get into specifics. I do not share numbers. I'll share percentages. I'll say I'm up 13% on this, or I'm up 27% on that. Or I contribute 5% of my pay because I get a 5% match to the 401k. I'll say that. I don't say that I have a certain amount of dollars invested in this stock or this amount of money in the 401k or how much 5% is in dollars. I don't talk about that. Why would I do that? That's my own personal financial business. If it comes up, I'm comfortable sharing percentages, but that's about it. Same goes for the silver and the gold. You see this on display. This is just that's what it is. This is a display. This is not the full stack. I will never make a full stack video. I made one, and that's because it was during my first year, and I was really excited because I hit the 100 troy ounce mark, and I was just excited about it. I was like, hey, look at this. My first 100 ounces of silver. Never did it again. I don't believe in full stack videos. I think it's potentially a little bit reckless to let anybody in the world know how much silver and gold you own. So I personally don't really think it's a great idea. So it's something that I personally don't do. I don't think there's any real harm in doing that. It could be risky. It's not the smartest idea to put it out on the internet how much silver you own, because you're telling anybody who's watching that video how much your silver is worth at the same time. But anonymously putting them out on the internet, it's not as bad as telling your coworkers as far as I'm concerned. Moving away from that, let's also talk about telling our close friends and family members. See, this right here, it's a little bit different. This right here gets a little bit tricky, especially when it comes to the spouse. I have a slightly different take on this than a lot of other people do. Because, believe it or not, I've made videos similar to this one in the past, And I get the same comments every time from different people. Tell me, oh, never tell your spouse. When you go to work, she's going to take your stack to the coin shop and sell it and buy shoes. Never tell your friends, never tell your family. Even if they live in another country, they'll fly over to your country and they'll rob you. Like, they go off the deep end. I personally disagree with that. I don't think you need to tell your family, your relatives. I don't think you need to tell your closest friends. Your spouse, on the other hand, I think you probably should. And the reason I say that is because doing something, making financial decisions behind the spouse's back, I don't know. I mean, to me, that just seems a little... It just seems a little sneaky and deceptive, and I personally wouldn't be a fan to find out years down the road that my wife was doing something or buying something and intentionally hiding it from me. I wouldn't really be the biggest fan of that. I would feel a little like, hey, it's a little weird. Made a lot of financial decisions without my knowledge, and you were hiding something from me, and the reason you were hiding it from me is kind of implying that you don't trust me. That's just a weird thing for me. If you want to keep it from your spouse, by all means, keep it from your spouse. I'm saying I believe it's probably a better idea to tell your spouse, but that's just me. By the way, while we're on the subject, you should follow Mrs. DYDSS on Instagram. And while you're at it, you can follow Mama DYDSS and Mini DYDSS. And of course, me, Mykie DYDSS. All on Instagram. Give us a follow. Keeping up with the DYDSSians is what I'll call it. But I do believe that the spouse should know. Simply because it's a financial decision that you're making, I think you should both be on board. I don't think you need to present it to them like a lunatic. I don't think you should go up to your wife and be like, hey, honey, the dollar bill is about to explode. Economic hardships are upon us and the world is coming to an end. Only going to be saved with a bunch of silver bars. I don't think you need to do anything like that. In fact, that's a good way of getting her to say, you're insane. Who am I with? I think a good way to present it to them is by kind of like portraying it as like maybe like a coin collection. Like, hey, you know, a friend, a family member of mine kind of got me into coins, or I saw this video on the DYDSS channel. He was showing off some of his coins and thought it was pretty cool. Googled some of the coins, learned a little bit about the history, and I decided that I want to get some for myself. And silver and gold, they do typically retain their value and go up in value, and with inflation and, you know, there being economic uncertainty and, you know, tariffs and all this stuff going on, you know, I kind of want to put some dollars into something additional to save, be worth something one day. I think he'll probably be on board. But again, that's up to you. If you don't think it's a good idea to tell your wife or husband or whatever, then don't. It's your marriage. Your marriage, your decision. In addition to the spouse, I had also mentioned that I don't think you need to tell your close friends or other relatives, but I do believe there are some that you can. I believe it's a little bit safer to tell a very close friend or one of your relatives, assuming that they can respect your privacy. Now, a mistake I made early on was I told a family member, and me and this family member, months down the road, we were out one day. I don't remember if we were at some appointment or maybe we were in a restaurant or something like that, but for whatever reason, gold came up. And this family member looks at me in front of people that we didn't know and said something along the lines of, hey, Mikey, you still have those coins that you were buying? Something like that. Not that that is that big of a deal, but the problem is somebody could very easily and innocently mention someone without having any bad intentions to someone that does or could potentially have bad intentions. I mean, let's just say you tell one of your friends or a family member or, God forbid, a coworker or something like that. And down the road, they bump into somebody that they know, a mutual friend of yours, you come up, and they say something along the lines of, oh yeah, I work with him. Or yeah, last time I saw him, he told me he's been stacking a bunch of silver and gold coins and he keeps them in his house. He lives on 123 Sesame Street, the same place he lived, right down the street from where he used to live when we were in high school, something like that. Like, it could very easily slip out. It can very innocently be brought up. Now again, if this person or these people can respect your privacy and you let them know that you really don't want anybody to know, if it gets brought up, just don't even mention it. It's not, it's my money. It's my own personal business. I'm sharing it with you because you're a close friend of mine. Other people out there are not close friends of mine. I want you to know. I don't want anybody else to know. End of story. If they can respect that, sure. Okay, that's fine. You could do that with a close friend or a family member. But you also don't have to. At the end of the day, the silver and the gold, you don't have to tell anybody. And the reason you don't have to tell them is because simply they don't need to know. What does informing them of your silver and gold do for you? Now, if you have kids, maybe they should be aware of it. Maybe not the extent, like how much silver and gold you have, but maybe they know that there's a little bit of silver and gold if you plan on passing it down to them. Maybe they should be informed ahead of time. That way they know what to expect. Something like that. Or maybe you get, maybe you have a younger kid and you get them interested in coins. Kids are interested in collecting all types of things. A rock collection, stamp collection, baseball card collection. Could be a coin collection. And maybe you have something like that in common with the kid. Or the grandkid. Sure, that's fine. I see no problem with that either. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you don't need to inform anybody. And that's just simply because they don't need to know. Give me one reason right here, right now, why they would need to know. Somebody that does not live in your house. Somebody that is not someone you're married to or an extremely close friend or relative. If it's a coworker or an acquaintance or somebody that you're bumping into at the store, why on God's green earth would they be required to know? They're not. Simple. End of story. It's your own personal, private, financial business. You don't go around telling people how much cash you have in your checking account. You don't go around telling people how much money you make, or how much you save, or how much you spend, or how much you invest. At least I hope not. Hope you don't do stuff like that. But coming around full circle here, in conclusion, it's probably a safer and smarter idea to keep your silver and gold a secret. Nobody needs to know. In my opinion, I think the spouse should probably know. Other than the spouse, no one else really needs to know. Or I wouldn't be able to make a case. I wouldn't be able to make an argument as for why you should tell those people. Spouse, a little bit different story. Financial decisions behind each other's backs and keeping it a secret and hiding and being deceptive and stuff. Yeah, it's a little shaky. Everybody else in the world, they don't need to know. They don't need to know how much you make. They don't need to know how much you spent on something. They don't need to know that you're stacking. I do understand the temptation to tell people, though. Because at the end of the day, silver and gold, the reason a majority of us are stacking is for long-term wealth preservation purposes. It's a hedge against inflation, not an investment. We see it, or most of us, or at least I see it, in my opinion, as a hedge against inflation. I do not believe silver and gold are going to skyrocket. I do believe that it's going to be a very slow burn, and I do believe that the metals will go up at a rate or close to a rate that the dollar goes down, like a mirror. The dollar dips, silver and gold go up. It's my opinion, and that's one of the reasons I've picked up my fair share of silver and gold over the years. I'm doing it to help my future self. So I do understand why you might be very, very tempted to tell your friends and tell your family. Because if you're doing this to help yourself, by relaying that information over to them, you are technically helping them too, so I get it. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, most people don't want to be helped, and most people don't want to be financially disciplined. Most people aren't going to want to hear it. They want to buy a bag of Doritos. They don't want a coin. So, in conclusion, there are a small number of people that I think shouldn't be that big of an issue informing them of the stack. Maybe get them on board as well. Everybody else, there's no need to tell them. This is why I keep my silver a secret, with the exception of 2 or 3 close people in my life, and anonymously posting videos on the internet about it. Just something to think about, just something to talk about. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos, and follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS on Twitter and Instagram. And of course, 3 quick things before we end the video. Number 1, if you haven't already, try you out some Celsius Energy. It's a healthier version of the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I will leave an affiliate link in the description. You could try out the different flavors and see which one you like best. 2, if you haven't already started investing and you would like to, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. That link will also be in the description. They're going to give you some free stocks just for joining, and it's a great place for new investors because it's really easy to navigate on the app. Link down below. And last but certainly not least, if you need any stacking supplies or prepping supplies, whether it be airtight tubes and capsules, anti-tarnish paper, microscopes, mini lock boxes, things of that nature, prepping supplies could be water filtration systems, an emergency hand crank radio, solar-powered gadgets, food dehydrators, the list goes on. I will leave all those supplies linked in the description for your convenience. You could check them out, read other people's reviews on them, get the product details, look at some pictures. Don't just take it from me. Read the reviews as well. If you need anything, link down below. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. How many people would you say that you've told about your stack of silver and or gold? Would you say it's just, 1, 2, 3, just a handful of people, your closest family members and or friends, kids, whatever? Would you say you've told a couple co-workers, told the neighbor, told the mailman? He drops off your friggin' JM Bullion box and you say, hey, thanks for this, guess what's inside it? Gold! Did you do something like that? How many people would you say that you've told about your silver and gold? With the exception of talking about it online. An online community is a little bit different. It's a little bit more tight-knit, and most of us are anonymous. But let me know in the comments how many people, if you had to guess, how many people would you say that you've told about your silver and gold? And who in your life, or who in other people's lives, do you think it's okay to tell, or you should just keep it a secret from everybody? Let us know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.